So this session will start with the nuclear envelope. So nuclear envelope, it is a protective covering which is surrounding the nucleus and which majorly separates the cytoplasm with the nucleoplasm, right? So in a cell, so we have the nuclear envelope like this, right? So this nuclear envelope, it is bilayered membrane like this, and it separates the nucleoplasm from the external cytoplasm, and also it acts as a protective covering around the nucleus. And then another important function of the nuclear membrane is it facilitates the bidirectional movement of the molecules in and out of the membrane. So there are many molecules which have to move from the cytoplasm to the nucleoplasm, and many molecules have to move from the nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm. So this movement we call it as a bidirectional movement, and that bidirectional movement is also being facilitated by the nuclear membrane with the help of the nuclear pores which are present in between. So here the gaps which are there are called as the nuclear pores. So this is the nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, and these are the nuclear pores, and this is the nucleoplasm. Now, we are specifically studying this nuclear membrane. Okay, how exactly the structure of the nuclear membrane is seen. So, nuclear membrane is categorized into three regions. Okay, the structure of the nuclear membrane has three specific regions, and the specific regions are, first one is the outer nuclear membrane. The first one is the outer nuclear membrane. So this outer nuclear membrane is also called as ectokaryotheca. The outer nuclear membrane is also called as ectokaryotheca, and this outer membrane is specifically consisting of a type of protein called as cache domain protein. So it majorly contains a type of protein called as cache domain protein. So ಈ cache domain protein ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, this will help in the attachment of the nuclear membrane to the cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? All through the cytoplasm or all over the cell, ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ತರ cytoskeleton ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? Which is made up of microtubules, microfilaments and the intermediate filaments. ಸೊ ಈ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಟನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್. ಅವತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಟನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಡೆಕೋರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮಗ್ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಾಣ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿರುವಂತಹ ಆ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ನಮಗ್ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅದೇ ತರ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಆ ಶೇಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹಂಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಓಡಾಡ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we require this cache domain proteins. Okay, so it is called as the ectokaryotheca, and it is specifically having the cache domain proteins. And then coming to the next one, that is the inner nuclear membrane. So inner nuclear membrane ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So this is called as endokaryotheca. Endokaryotheca anta heltivi. And here there are around 60 integral proteins. Here there are around 60 integral proteins which are present. So idr kelsa enu antantandre ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಮಿನಾನ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ನರ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಕೆಲಸ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಮಿನಾ ನಾವು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಮಚ್. ಸೊ ದ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನರ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಮಿನಾನ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೈಡು it is attached to the nuclear core complex. It is attached to nuclear core. So nuclear core structure also we are going to study in detail. So nuclear core complex ge idu attach agirutte. And remember ee ectokaryotheca enidiyala, I mean outer nuclear membrane enidiyala, so this is continuous with rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and hence since it is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it should be studded with the ribosomes. Haudu tane? Rough endoplasmic reticulum anmele admele ribosomes irlebeku. So this is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum and studded with the ribosomes. And then coming to the third part of the nuclear membrane, it is the perinuclear space. Perinuclear space. So this perinuclear space is around 20 to 40 nanometers. So this has a space of around 20 to 40 nanometers, and this is continuous with the lumen of endoplasmic reticulum. Now we'll see the detailed structure of the nuclear membrane. So let us imagine we have the outer membrane here like this. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಏನು, that is showing the nuclear pores. So now here this is the inner nuclear membrane, this is the outer nuclear membrane. Outer nuclear membrane is continuous like this with the endoplasmic reticulum. It is continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum, and since it is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is studded with the ribosomes. So here on the outer membrane also there are ribosomes present like this. But remember, there are no ribosomes present on the inner nuclear membrane. There are no ribosomes present on the inner nuclear membrane. Only on the outer nuclear membrane they are studded with the ribosomes. Okay. Then coming to the inner nuclear membrane. The inner nuclear membrane, this is attached to the nuclear lamina like this. Okay, we'll see the detailed structure of the nuclear lamina when it comes. So this is the structure of the nuclear lamina, and it is also attached to the nuclear pore complex. It is also attached to the nuclear pore complex. So pore complex also we'll study in detail. Okay. So this space is called as the perinuclear space, and this is called as the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. So the perinuclear space is continuous with the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. So illi outer membrane of the nuclear membrane is also continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum, and the perinuclear space is also continuous with the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. So this is the outer membrane, and this is the inner membrane, and this is the perinuclear space. Okay, so these are the three major components of the nuclear membrane. So clear? Huh? Nuclear membrane. So it is majorly a protective covering around the nucleus which separates the nucleoplasm and the cytoplasm. Repeat it once again. Nuclear membrane is a protective covering around the nucleus which separates the nucleoplasm with the cytoplasm. It is also helping in the bidirectional movement of the molecules in and out of the nucleus. So, since there are nuclear pores present, it is facilitating the movement of the molecules across the nuclear pores. Okay, clear? Huh? And then we have coming to the structural details of the nuclear membrane, we have the outer nuclear membrane which is called as the karyotheca and the inner nuclear membrane which is called as the endokaryotheca. Outer nuclear membrane is called as the ectokaryotheca. Inner nuclear membrane is called as the endokaryotheca. Outer nuclear membrane is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum and is studded with the ribosomes, and it is having the Kash domain proteins which help in binding with the cytoskeleton or attachment with the cytoskeleton. Coming to the inner nuclear membrane, so this inner nuclear membrane is attached to the nuclear lamina as well as the nuclear pore complex, and the perinuclear space is the space between the outer and the inner nuclear membranes, and this space is continuous with the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay? Huh? Yes, copy it down. Nuclear pore. Though the pore looks very small, the structure of the pore is very complex. Okay. So the major function of the nuclear pore is to facilitate the molecules in and out of the nucleus. So one very good example for this is after the transcription which is taking place in the nucleus, the mRNA has to move to the cytoplasm, right? The mRNA has to move to the cytoplasm for the translation process. So how does the mRNA move? The mRNA goes through the nuclear pores. So likewise, there are many molecules, there are many enzymes which are being produced in the cytoplasm, but they are required in the nucleus. And how do they enter the nucleus, right? They enter the nucleus through the nuclear pores. However, the pore is not as simple as we think. The structure is very, very complex. The nuclear pore, it majorly consists of a central canal like this. Okay, there will be a central canal like this or a channel, central channel. Around the central channel, there is an central hub which is called as a transporter. So, this is a central channel. Around the central channel, there is an central hub which is called as central transporter. This transporter is made up of two rings like this. The transporter is made up of two rings, and these two rings are called as irises. They are called as irises. So single is called as iris or called as the irises. So this is an central channel. So surrounding the central channel, there is an transporter which is made up of the irises. So this transporter is called as a central hub. Okay, it is called as a central hub. Now, so this is a core complex of the nuclear core. This is the core. Now surrounding this core, on the side of the cytoplasm and on the side of the nucleoplasm, we have two sides, right? So if this is an if this is a nuclear membrane and if this is a pore present here, so this is the side of the nucleoplasm and this is the side of the cytoplasm, right? On the side of the cytoplasm, there is a structure which is an octagonal ring. Octagonal is 8 sides, right? So there is an octagonal ring which is attached to this central hub with the help of the spokes. So let us first draw the spokes properly and then you can actually draw the one, one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So 8 spokes. These 8 spokes are joined by an octagonal ring-like structure. An octagonal ring. Okay. So now, this octagonal ring, this is present on the side of the cytoplasm. However, on the side of the nucleoplasm, okay, on the side of the nucleoplasm, there is a small basket present like this. There is a small basket present like this, and this small basket is again connected to this central hub with the help of again 8 filaments. So this is one ring along with the filaments is called as an basket. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 8 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so let me just draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So ಇದನ್ನ upside down ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ನಾನು 3D ಗಿಡಿ ಹಾಕಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. So this will be on the top. Okay. ಇದು octagonal ring ಮೇಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣದು basket ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಮೇಲಿಂದು this is the cytoplasm side and this is the nucleoplasm side. So we have the cytoplasm side ಅಲ್ಲಿ octagonal ring ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು basket ಇದೆ. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ we have this central hub. Now there are spaces between these spokes, right? So the spaces between these spokes are called as aqueous channel. The spaces between the spokes are called as the aqueous channel. These are the spokes. These are the spokes and these are the filaments. These are the filaments and this is a small ring. Filaments plus ring will give us a basket. And now see, this is a central channel. Surrounding the central channel, we have this central hub. This central hub is also called as the transporter. The central hub is also called as transporter. And this transporter is made up of 2 rings which are called as the irises. Now, this is the core of the complex. Around this, on the side of the cytoplasm, there is an octagonal ring present. So this octagonal ring is attached to the central hub with the help of 8 spokes. And the space or the gap between the spokes is called as the aqueous channel. So now the molecules get facilitated out or in of the nuclear pore through these aqueous channels. Okay, and then towards the side of the nucleoplasm, we have a small ring which has been situated, and this ring is connected again to the central hub with the help of the 8 filaments. So this 8 filaments plus ring is called as the basket. It is called as the basket. So this is the structure of the nuclear pore. So we usually call it, we don't call it as just nuclear pore. We call it as a nuclear pore complex. So very often we call it as a nuclear pore complex. So why do we call it as a nuclear pore complex is pore is not just a minute opening here. Pore is made up of various components and different types of openings. Hence we call it as a nuclear pore complex instead of just nuclear pore. Okay? I don't know. Nuclear lamina. So nuclear lamina, it is a fibrillar network which is present below the inner nuclear membrane. Okay, so the inner nuclear membrane, we had studied that there are around 60 integral proteins present on the inner nuclear membrane, right? So what is the function of the presence of those integral proteins? So the function is those integral proteins will hold the nuclear lamina properly below the inner membrane. So the why do we need it is this basically acts as a skeleton. The nuclear lamina, it basically acts as a skeleton which is an fibrillar network, which is an fibrillar network which is made up of a protein called as lamina. Lamina is the name of a protein which is present in this fibrillar network of the nuclear lamina. And this lamina, it is an type 5 intermediate protein. It is an type 5 intermediate protein. So there are different classes of the proteins actually. So we have studied the intermediate proteins, right? So like there are different classes in them, and among them this lamina belongs to the type 5 intermediate protein. It undergoes a specific process which is called as farnellization. So farnesylation means, I'll show it here only. Lamina is a protein. So what is the structure of a protein? Let me speak about the primary structure. Okay. It has an N terminal and C terminal. Now, to this C terminal, there will be an addition of the lipid. If there is an addition of the lipid to the C terminal of the protein, we call it as farnesylation. Okay, we call it as farnesylation. And this lamina in the nuclear lamina this lamina protein in the nuclear lamina sheet will undergo the farnesylation process. Okay, then what is the major like why do we need this nuclear lamina? What is the major necessity of having the nuclear lamina? The one thing is it acts as a skeleton system, right? It gives a proper rigidity to the nucleus. Structure of the nucleus ಗೆ ಒಂದು proper shape ಮತ್ತು rigidity ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. And another important thing why we should have this nuclear lamina is it keeps the nuclear pore in place. So nuclear pore should not move at all. There should not be any movement in the nuclear pores. If there is movement in the nuclear pores, there are chances that it misses out the movement of the molecules. Let us imagine there is an mRNA which is trying to move out of the nuclear core from the nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm. If this nuclear core keeps on moving, then how will the mRNA properly enter the nuclear core? It will be hardly in the nanometers, right? Then how will it enter the pore? It will be very difficult for the mRNA to enter the pore. So there should not be any movement in the nuclear pores. It should properly stick on to a place. So that sticking on to a place, that job is fixed by this nuclear lamina. Okay, so the nuclear core is being held properly in one space without giving any movement, so that there would be a proper facilitation of the movements in and out of the nuclear membranes. Okay, so the first reason is it acts as a skeletal system. It gives a skeletal network to the nuclear membrane, and the second one is it's a fibrillar network which is made up of the protein called as lamina, and this lamina is a type 5 intermediate protein, and this undergoes a process called as farnesylation, and this farnesylation is the addition of the lipid to the C terminal, and it keeps the nuclear pore in the proper space. Now, how does the nuclear lamina look like? So let us imagine this is the outer membrane, this is the inner membrane, and here also we have an outer membrane and we have an inner membrane. Okay, so now this is outer membrane, this is inner membrane. I mean, idu outer membrane, idu inner membrane, idu perinuclear space. Okay, now how exactly the nuclear lamina is situated below the inner membrane? So ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಟೈಟ್ಲಿ woven network wherein the openings are not correlated. The openings are not correlated. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, so that there should not be any leakage of the nucleoplasm. Okay, because it is a network, there should not be any leakage of the nucleoplasm. Hangagi itara very strongly woven lamina network namige ಈ nuclear lamina dalli nodakke sigutte. And here in this space, what do we have? We have the, what is this? This is the nuclear pore complex, right? So this is the basket, or this is a small ring with the filaments which is having the central hub here, and then on the cytoplasm side we have the channel with the spokes present, right? So this is how the nuclear lamina is being woven below the inner nuclear membrane. Okay, clear?